Hey guys, so I wanted to walk you through setting up your project folder in DaVinci Resolve 15. After you open it, you should see on the left here the disk location. I think by default it has local database and an untitled project, but I want you guys to create your own folder on the computer. That way, if anybody else happens to use the computer, they'll have their own projects, you'll have yours. And the way that we do that is we go down to New Database, click it, and instead of Connect, we're going to select Create. Make sure that it is selected on Disk. You could change the thumbnail if you want, but it's not necessary. And whatever you do decide to name it, it's all going to be one word, no spaces. So I'm just going to call mine My Projects. If you wanted to be more specific for yours, you could use your name, so maybe that's better. Let's just say your name and projects. Then you have to select where it's going to be. So you just click on the location square here, bring up this, and what I want you to do, if it isn't already at this window, is you're going to go to this PC on the left, scroll down until you get to local disk C, double click there, and then here you're going to have to create a new folder. So you'll just click New Folder and name it. Same thing, just do your name, and you could say video or film projects, whatever works for you. Go inside, and then once you're in here, in just this blank folder, you click Select Folder. And then from there we should be good to go. I'm going to click Create. It'll take a moment. There we go. Okay, so now under the disk area we have local database, and then we have the folder that you made yourself. Okay, so always double check that you're in the correct Projects tab first, and to create a new project you're going to double click Untitled Project in this case. And later in the course, you're going to have a few more. So this area is going to fill up with all of your video projects. They'll all be saved right here. So click Untitled Project. And here is DaVinci Resolve. This is where you're going to be doing most of your editing. And just to give you a quick run through, you have all these tabs here at the bottom. This one controls media. This is where you're going to edit. Fusion is where you're going to do any special effects. Color is where you can do color correcting. Fairlight, to be completely honest with you, yeah, it looks like it's more like your music editing, or if you're going to store music here or equalize it. Haven't used too much of that, and I'm not going to require it for this class, so you don't need to worry about it. If you want to play around with it, you're more than welcome to. And finally, Deliver. This is where you're going to end up when you're rendering your videos. And we'll get to that later. For now, I want you to go to your Media tab. And here, you're going to select where your files are stored. And it's going to show up over here, okay? So earlier, I already set up an area for my video projects. And what you could do, if I remember correctly, yeah, you could go into just the C drive where many of your shots should be stored. If you downloaded them from Google Drive, or if you have them on a flash drive, you should have copied the files and put them somewhere on your C drive. Namely, it would be a smart idea to put them into the projects folder that you made for yourself just now. So when I created Kevin's film projects, if all my shots were in there, as soon as I hit down, I would actually have a folder with all of my shots. In this specific example, I don't have that, but you should go with that for the rest of this class. But for the sake of showing you how this works, I'm going to go where I had previous examples stored. So I had video projects earlier. It's still in my C drive, and shots. So if I click on that, there's also test. Can go in there. And here is some shots that I took earlier at home. Now, if I wanted to take these and put them into my media pool, that's what's going to transfer over into the editing tab. So I can just click and drag and drop. And it's going to ask you, the clips have, when this dialog pops up, it's asking you to change the setting for your frame rate. Go ahead and click change. And now every single one that you drop down will be according to that same frame rate. You may also notice as I scrub across this, you can also hear sound. That's because every single one of your shots, if you recorded sound simultaneously, your audio is connected to it. So when we have these three, in my example here, 3 clips, I'm going to go back to edit, and now they show up in my media pool up here. I can drag and drop them. Just hold until it shows up. We'll do this a few times. And that's as basic as you could get if you want to have everything just put next to each other. If you need a crossfade or cross dissolve, you have to overlap them and then draw one back. When you do that, you're going to see this square show up, and that shows the beginning of this tab, or this clip, and the end of this clip to the left. So if you go right in the middle, you can go to Video Transitions in your toolbox and drag over Cross Dissolve and attach it to the center here and drag it out. And now if I scrub across, you'll see a slight fade between each of these clips. Last but not least, at the very end, you can also add a black solid color if you need to for the very end with the same kind of thing. You can just add it in and cross dissolve it and add text for the end or credits, anything like that. Anyway guys, that is an intro to using this. If you ever need to come back and see this video, it will be in class resources in Google Classroom. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know.